Hello there, I'm Zach Sheen, Harnett County Emergency Services Emergency Management Coordinator.
And I'm Ryan Dawson, I'm the Assistant Emergency Management Coordinator for Harnett County. So I want to tell you a little bit about emergency management and what we do here at Harnett County Emergency Services. Each day our job is to plan for and try to prevent any bad circumstances from happening from any type of natural disaster or man-made incident that is a danger to our citizens or anyone in our county. Some of this includes looking at the different types of plans that we have in place for hurricane response or hazmat incidents or other types of large-scale emergencies that occur in Harnett County. Some of the things that we look at is how to be better trained to operate our Emergency Operations Center, how to help our partnering agencies, the fire departments, EMS, the Sheriff's Office, our county government, to better respond to different types of emergencies that we encounter. As we do this each day, we work with our partnering agencies to train them to open our Emergency Operations Center or to do their normal daily response in a more professional, more trained manner. Some of the things that we also do is we help our Fire Marshal's Office with fire investigations. We assist our EMS division with training on incident management and large-scale exercises. And we also help all of our other county departments and partners, including our municipalities, with getting trained for any type of emergency that they can encounter.
So with hurricane season upon us, we want to ensure that our citizens and community and partners are safe. June 1st of 2025 through November 30th is our hurricane season. Cape Fear River runs through our community. It does split our community in half. We have tributary rivers that are also impacted that affect the communities around us. So we have to look at flash flooding impacts that take place from substantial rainfall. We also have to look at where these tributaries are diverting water to during these flooding times. With the wind damages as well and the areas in agricultural, we want to ensure that the communities are safe during these times. Our roadways are impacted. The infrastructure for power and internet is impacted. So we want to ensure that we have the right tools and the right notifications that go out. So things you're doing right now to prepare is building that emergency preparedness kit.
When we talk about emergency kits that we recommend you have, these are some of the items that you should have as part of your emergency kit. We'll show you here some type of water container or water packets that you have, and the recommendation is that you have at least 1 gallon of water per day per person that is part of your household. So make sure you have that for up to 72 hours along with some type of food. This is an emergency ration kit, but canned goods or other items that are non-perishable that you can keep in your house year-round are items that you can have to make sure that you have enough food for everyone for that 72 hours. In addition to that, we have our first aid kit for any type of injuries, but you need to also remember your personal medicine, whatever you need to take that you have for a couple days worth in case you have to leave your home, that you have it ready to get in case you end up in a shelter, but also making sure if the pharmacies are closed that you have enough to make it until they get power back as well. We recommend that you have some type of light sources, so we have a flashlight and just a glow stick here. If you do the flashlights, make sure you have extra batteries to keep it powered as it goes for nighttime as well. Some other things that we have are if you have to be outside or if your heat or goes out, an emergency survival blanket, a poncho, or even some gloves in case you have to move a tree out of the roadway to get out of your driveway or get down the road to a shelter possibly. We recommend you have some small travel hygiene items to make sure that you can stay clean. In addition to that, you need some type of notification devices, and by that we mean a way to receive notifications such as a weather alert radio or a portable radio that's waterproof so you can hear in case you don't have any type of cell phone service or TV goes out, you can still hear on AM, FM some type of emergency messages. The other part of notification is you should have some type of notification device so that you can call for help. If you end up trapped somewhere, a type of whistle or something so that you can make noise so that the responders or emergency people can hear that you need assistance at that part. And lastly, you want to make sure you have some type of clothing for a couple days for everyone that's with you, whether it be put away or if you're traveling to go somewhere, make sure you have that so that you're prepared in case you come into an emergency situation.
We also want to ensure that you're signed up for Harnett Alerts. Receive reverse 911 notifications for emerging threats and alert and warning notifications from the National Weather Service. So ensuring that our public and community stay informed of what is taking place during disasters, we have a situational awareness board that allows for the residents and communities and partners to see different disasters and effects from these natural disasters. So on here we have the NCDOT road closures that take place across the county and the state, because we also want to be aware of what's happening around us. Within this, the color-coded areas also show the power outages that are being reported to the state response organizations from the power companies and cooperative agencies. Within this, we also have the National Weather Service radar. So this radar allows for you to see impeding weather radar threats that may be indicated during these natural disasters for our state and surrounding area. Once our emergency operations center are open, the next fields kind of pertain to the disasters and the effects that we're seeing from flash flooding, wind-related incidents, and other disaster components. So within here we have our river gauges, but as road closures begin to happen and our emergency operations centers open, we're keying these so that the public are aware of potential road closures from flash flooding, down power lines and trees, or other impacts.